Hello everyone and welcome to my Rasha'nan guide. Again, this is based off beta footage and I didn't have the heroic footage recorded, so essentially what you're going to get is the normal video and I'll go through the mechanics on heroic that are missing and explain them as well. So the general idea of the fight is that you engage the boss and he's not quite full health because you fought him in the dungeon, and essentially there's a lot of mechanics that you just need to move out of or move to the side, break webs, all of that kind of stuff. It's quite straightforward. It's just a lot of visual clutter, but the stuff that you need to see is quite clear to see. The boss will effectively go through a rotation of abilities and then fly away, and then you need to interrupt him and then he'll fly away again, and then essentially you just do it all in the new location after he's landed, and rinse and repeat. So this is the ability that won't be seen in this because it's heroic only. Essentially, it's the exact same as the first boss. There is going to be a circle, you stand in it, it pulls you in, and it'll be split evenly amongst everyone that's in it. It needs to be hit by at least 3 targets where everybody gets pulled in. So pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy to do. You just do it along with all the other mechanics. So the next ability you can see that's going to come in is the webs. Essentially, it'll get put onto a certain amount of people, and you can see here there's 3 people that have got it, and all those people will need to do is just spread out and let the webs get put down. You can see that they get stuck to the web and they need to move a certain amount of distance to break it. On heroic, anyone that's in that circle will get stuck to the web and need to move out to break it, and they'll take damage the whole time they're doing it. So essentially on heroic you need to be a little bit quicker at moving out, otherwise you're going to have multiple people stuck, and yeah, then it's going to be a bit of a snowball effect, but it should be pretty straightforward to deal with. Next ability, as you start the fight, and I believe every time he lands, it might happen at other times, he just does a big AoE pulse. You want to be nice and stacked up for it. It puts a lingering dot on you as well that does damage over time for 12 seconds. So essentially, yeah, just stack up, heal through, and it's a healer problem. The tank mechanic is essentially you want to use your active mitigation. When it hits, it does a big upfront damage. You can see it being cast. And then essentially you get a dot on you based on what you didn't mitigate. So yeah, just use a big old mitigation when it comes in and you should be fine. Also, if you're not within melee range, he starts doing pulsing damage to the raid. So just another thing for the tanks, make sure that one of you are always in melee range if one of you are going to pick up ads or something like that. So the big cool mechanic in this is sort of a shaded acid ability that you'll see here when it comes in. Essentially, the side that's shaded green is the direction the acid will flow. So it makes it very intuitive to know you take it this way, you take it this way, and there's a nice gap in the middle. And yeah, people obviously should be moving inside while those people are moving outside. I believe in other difficulties, there's 3 of them, 4 of them kind of thing that you need to maneuver about. But yeah, it should be pretty straightforward. It's just a case of making sure you're on your toes and you're moving quickly. Okay, so finally you'll have the boss flying away at certain points once he's gone through a cycle of a certain amount of his mechanics. I don't think it's percentage based. I think it was sort of he does these mechanics, then he flies away. But you never know, we'll see. So great place for a gateway, great place for stampeding roars and all of that kind of stuff. You can see he starts casting an ability that's called Acidic Eruption. And if you don't interrupt it, then you take a load of damage and he becomes immune to damage as well. You can see that when you interrupt it, he gets up and moves again, and he casts it again, and then you interrupt it, and then that seems to be when he picks a location to stay. So the second location he goes seems to be the location he stays. I'm not sure if that's going to be, what happens. Maybe he'll go once, maybe he'll go twice, who knows. But essentially, every time he stops and he does that interrupt it, okay? There are some little lads that spawn, and they seem to spawn from players. So essentially just have some stuns ready, group them up and nuke them down. If they bite you, they do some more damage. And also it looks like on heroic they'll do more damage to the person that they're exploding from and anyone stood on top of them. So just keep that in mind. So in general, I think it'll be a fun fight. You'll probably hero one pull and loosely stack in the middle, and then just get people to move the mechanics out of the raid essentially. Obviously, if you full on stack, there'll be some mechanics that punish you for that, or one person being slow or whatever. So yeah, it's just going to be a case of keeping on your toes, having good stampeding roar and gateway times, and it should be quite fun. As always, I'll put all of our cooldowns and raid plans and stuff into the YouTube description. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing the War Within and to getting into the boss fights in about a month. So thank you for watching. As always, let me know if there's anything you want or any feedback, and enjoy the war within. Bye.